that's from the opposite sex, it's not the person you're married to, then you should check your marriage, because if you, it's
Hello,
okay
am I
to
still
have.
here?
Yeah, you're back. But just wait, let Michelle finish. Michelle, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I had a call. Okay.
Michelle, go ahead. Michelle,
What is that? What is it?
Michelle, can you hear me? Okay, back
She
to you.
can do it now. She can do it.
Michelle, can you hear me? Okay, back to you.
Okay, let me
Stargate,
start fast, fast. Stop, fast.
Stargate, can you hear me?
Just start from the front. I can hear you. What did you say?
Okay. Let's continue from where you stop.
Okay, okay.
You can go ahead.
So back to what I was saying. Sorry, I had a call. For me, yeah, I don't believe that someone should someone should have a best friend, because one day I might upset you as the wife or the girlfriend. You get, based on Aya is my bestie, is someone I tell everything, we are open to each other, blah blah blah. You now go and meet the person and be telling the person what I did. And people always try to give gist according to their own side of the story. And the person now might not hear from my own side of the story, or actually why I did whatever it is that I did. So sometimes the person might see my action as something that is so bad. In as much as she might try to be not to be biased and still be honest, at a point she might just be like, now wow, this girl self, she too do self. Before you know it, in don already dey put some things into the guy's head, or some situations he might just try to, maybe based on maybe he's emotionally down and stuff like that, he might just try to be petting him and stuff. He might go trying to console you, depending on the level of what I did, because say me, e dey my body, so I no know. So for me, I won't really like that bestie of a thing, that's my own opinion.
But the thing is, Stargate, the people have been put into some kind of they've they've been told to like, there's a program I watched one time. They said that their best friends that are male friends don't have any interior motives in their relationship, so they are just besties. Everybody's in friend zone. They are in friend zone. Nobody's sexually attracted to each other, and there is nothing like like the person wants to take an advantage of the friendship and wants to take it in, it making it something sensual. But most times these people truly, they are not really attracted to themselves, but they like them. So they are just friends, but they are not attracted to each other. Should this still be encouraged? That okay, in that kind of situation is an exceptional situation. These people are not attracted to each other, but they respect themselves mutually. Should they still be friends as opposite sex?
Okay, I would say that if the person has actually known each other way back before me, and they have been friends and there was nothing going on, in as much as they feel not like themselves that time, they feel just one day, or maybe they like, the girl like the guy, but the girl is pretending. But if in a situation whereby they have been friends for a long time and there was nothing actually, eh, but they can still not call it bestie. I can still permit them to be friends, but I would like him to be telling her anything about us. If
Okay,
we're having
okay.
any find out that our matter. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Star girl, sorry to
Hello.
burst you. Hello. Can you hear me, Star girl?
Network.
Network. Oh, she can't hear.
Say me, I can hear you
Mr.
too.
Zeno, the truth is that, is it possible you get to you've been in friendship with somebody for a long time, and somebody just got to marry that person. The best thing you can do is just give space, respect boundaries. Nobody say you should not keep the friends, but there should be limitations towards it. You should not even call yourself bestie anymore. You understand? You respect that relationship that your best friend has gotten into. Then, because there's no how you guys will end up talking about something emotional and stupid. Before you know it, something else will happen. So now, so
But to me, the issue now is that the person in a relationship now will say, let's say it's the woman. The woman will say, that guy is just my childhood friend. Oh. We know from when we're young. We're not really that close, but just like family, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We grew up in the same environment. There is nothing. There's nothing too sketchy about our relationship, and we respect each other. We respect our band, and he knows now that I'm in a relationship. I don't think he will cross any line. In those kind of situations, should the lady or be given the freedom to be close to people like that who are childhood friends? They are not really anything sketchy, just childhood friends who respect each other.
bros, there's nothing. Nobody's saying now from somewhere they start from. We've seen situation whereby from now true now. We see situation whereby you don't even get mind for that side before, but based on emotional talks, don't they come and you're like, person looks like someone I can live the rest of my life with. Person looks like someone I can stay with. Why can't I just step into the situation? Why can't I just step into the um or into her life or his life? It's from somewhere you start picturing you and that person. So there is no reason. I don't even see any reason. If I was to be in anybody's shoe, I'm bestie. I talk to you once in like 6 months, once in like a year. But you definitely know that okay, that once we really talk and we are really happy that okay we hear from each other. It's perfect. Like Stargirl rightly said, make your spouse your best friend. Make your spouse someone you can communicate to because Yoruba people say something that if you don't open a a wall, lizard cannot go into it. So that's how life goes generally. No matter how
Yeah,
you say you have been
but,
friends from childhood.
tell me, what if the
What
let's say
if let's say
I'm just trying to give a
I'm
nuance.
just trying to
What
give a
if
nuance.
the lady and this person in question, they are like cosmates. Let's say cosmate for instance, and the woman, this relationship is just based on academic work and all that. But they are still close. You can liken them to friends, but this one is academic. It's going to be for a particular period of time. There is boundaries. There is everything. Is that one still okay? Is this still perfect? Can they still be friends? Though it's
Boss, now my honest opinion, I just talk now. But I don't since Mr. Victor, let's have your own idea on this.
Savi.
You're not coach now. Let me listen to you.
Savi, yeah, Savi, way into
Yeah,
the
boss.
matter.
Yeah,
Should
what I
our
say
spouse
there,
have besties opposite gender? Savi, the floor is yours, sir.
our spouse or should spouse you might also have, you know. So basically, as soon as people boundary, whatever, or best friends. I really don't think that one is really allowed.
Avi, your network, your this thing is breaking. Please let's try and post and share the this thing, our YouTube links so that people can like and then join this live stream on YouTube. Savi, please add those that are on backstage, please. Savi's this thing is frozen. Don't know if the network issues from my own end. Though.
Nobody is on backstage. It's just everybody on backstage are on currently on the are
Clap.
currently in the studio.
Okay. Studio. Okay, so where is everybody now? Savi's and this thing has the
Some
thing
people
has
are moving to YouTube. Those people that are supposed to be on the stage are not supposed to go to YouTube. So Star Girl is supposed to be the host. They're supposed to leave YouTube.
and she's not on backstage.
She's not on backstage.
That's serious. I'm going to be waiting for them to join. Savi, Savi, can you hear me? Victor, this thing is frozen. Victor,
His network is so bad.
yeah, no, no. Michelle too. Michelle was talking and then the thing went off.
What is that guy they go to for YouTube?
Maybe as you dey talk now, they can't go you. Victor, your network don't come up.
Can you hear me, Pastor Dan?
Yes, yes. Oh, I did it to you.
Yeah, what's Target going to do on YouTube? Share a link, or you can just go there and like and come back. Probably because I have two devices though. That's why I'm using my laptop and then my phone is on the YouTube.
Okay. Michelle too. Wait till Michelle dey share the this thing, YouTube, this thing. Make they come stream yard now. So
We there, yeah, you're not going anywhere today. See, everybody come here.
to me you are back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, okay. So well, it was Savi that was talking. So the thing that to me is it that it should be completely ruled out that as a spouse you should not have a bestie that is an opposite sex, opposite gender.
I'm, I'm not. There's no pattern to life actually. It's just one understanding. If you know personally that, but I'll tell you this for a fact. 99% of men don't like it. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're in the 1%, and my calculation might be wrong. But we have. You did laugh. Now try. Now what I feel like talk. Oh, I might be wrong, so I stand to be corrected. I'm on live stream. At the same time, is I don't know. I don't know everything you get, but nobody likes it. but we tend to haunt ourselves with it, maybe as a level of punishment, or as with having those kind of best, before you know it, there will be unnecessary rifts, unnecessary arguments, unnecessary competition. I don't know if I'm speaking people's mind, but there's no pattern to life. If you know it's healthy for you, but one thing about life is that if you know it is possible for you, can you accept it also? I mean, if you say okay, you want to do it, can you accept it also? You want to keep your best team opposite sex. If they do it to you, can you accept it? So I don't think it's I won't want to say that people should do what I do or people should do that, but they should make their choice wisely.
Especially women, why do women try to defend the idea that there is nothing wrong with having a male bestie as a woman?
Yeah. Truth be say, how will I say it sef, any woman that has that ideology, then go and watch most of them they don't end up getting married, or they don't end up in husband's house. You understand? So I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm completely right. And to look at it perfectly, most of them they have some hidden, or they have ulterior motive, or they're trying to make a another option for themselves. So personally, I just feel like cleaving to your partner is the best. God understands. And if you look at, like, I watch movies a lot, if you watch some healthy marriage, you see the men hanging out with the men, you see the women hanging out with the women. So we must even be careful for which the person you hang out with. Even as a guy to guy, you must be very, very careful, talk less of opposite sex. And sorry to say, ladies are gullible in nature. I'm sorry, because they feel like the husband is treating them less, and you go and report to one bestie, or you tell one bestie, and the bestie will just, you never can tell where you're even picking from, what you're going to, and these things are like a seed. It germinates over time. Before you know it, you start loving one bestie, and the bestie is just trying to be an edge of support. Before you know it, emotions comes into play. So it's just better, like we said, please. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's better you flee. See, so, like the preacher of today said the scripture is complete. It's very complete. When he's telling you, clean, another this thing chapter is saying, flee, abba, abba. So we need to just be very, very, very careful. I'm this kind of person that if I hear the word, if it makes sense to me, I try to make it part and parcel of my life. And somehow people around me, at times it might seem like I'm very harsh while doing it. But truth is, I just want the best for everybody. You know. So the thing is that it is not LD. It cannot even be LD. From my own side though, I'm talking personally. Make people no go knock me something later. It's not healthy. It will not help. Emotions will spring forth. Your girlfriend, or the person you're in a relationship with, or your boyfriend, you started off from communication. We are talking stage. If you're not careful, that best friend is all those times you part together, it will be talking stage. It will not lead to something. So that's just my own opinion. Mr.
Thank you.
Victor, welcome back.
Sir Victor, welcome back, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Your mic
Hello,
is
guys.
mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clear, clear.
Okay. Yeah. before, even when the network was bad, I was hearing every of your discussion, but I would be talking, I was waving whether you can see me or whatever. I don't know what's going on. You
The thing
know,
was
the
just
network is
frozen,
kind of
like
bad.
it freezed.
Yeah, okay. On my side, yeah, it was moving, but maybe it's freezing on your side. Okay, like this
Uh,
issue of whether it's spouses to have besties. Well, outrightly, we condemn it in a way, and in another way, depending on how the level of closeness or what you can relate to that bestie you're talking about. If it is top secret, you don't need to even discuss it with your bestie. There are things, that's why you have your spouse there. You understand? Except maybe it is you and your spouse that is having issues, and your partner now took the issue to his or her bestie, and now started, okay, look at what I'm going through. How do I go about it? You understand me? And the person now advise you, okay, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. You consider the person like, well, this is somebody I can confide in and tell him or her about me, about my relationship, and now this is the person's advice, and I know in one way or the other we'll have one or two persons whom we speak with, either a Christian brother, a colleague, or somebody somewhere. We just talk a little, and the person that gives us an advice says, okay, go about it like this. And we also say, okay, it's either we take it or we don't also take it. But on a good day, you know, for a really serious couple who are, into something very, very intimate, any little thing that happens, you are taking it to your bestie. Sometimes what if the bestie is eyeing your spouse? He can advise you wrongly out of that relationship, while at the back end, the person is trying to, you know, overtake you. The person will say, okay, don't worry, I will talk to him for you. I will talk to him for you. You go to the other side, he's saying another thing. They are talking love stories, not even about you now. In fact, the person will just run the other person down so that this person can now win, his best friend. So I've seen cases like that where even the person will go and marry the person itself. Why push you out? They say, don't mind him, he's a useless guy or he's a useless lady. At the end of the day, you now marry your best. You say, so this is kind of person. So, now you throw away them now, they're not married, they don't go, they don't have their life. you know. So sometimes we've seen cases where it has damaged so many relationships. And we also see some cases where it has also saved some relationships too. So it's not always on the negative. There are the positive ones. There are also some negative ones too. So, but I would say, especially, you know, as married couple now, let me now stream into that area. As married couple now, anything like maybe bestie, something that happens in your home, you're taking it to bestie, you're not ready. You want to scatter your home. It's better you just face the person, face your fears inside that house, talk with your spouse, talk with your spouse. Then even if you want to relate issues that that is very, very delicate, if you have somebody, a very senior person, not all these bestie things, a very senior person high on authority, either spiritual leader or a friend whom you know that, okay, your spouse or your respect, you talk to the person can wait in, or a family member. You understand me? Not this very if a family member whom you trust and that can wade into the issues if it's a very strong and delicate issue. But if it's something both of you can handle, fine, you handle it. That's the way I see it.
okay, but Savi, which boundary will you place on the woman? Let's use the woman as a point of reference. Which boundary should a man place on his wife if it's inevitable that she has to have a friend or best friend or bestie? Maybe like I said, like in terms of in maybe as a course mate or for academic work, she has or a colleague in the office. What boundary do the man place on the woman's relationship with the opposite sex when it comes to somebody that the man cannot just outrightly say, don't go close to that person anymore, is your colleague or is your course mate?
you if you see that the friendship between maybe your wife and an opposite sex is so close that it can lead to something else that may not be very palatable. And you can tell her, be careful with this person, or I don't want to see with this person. Just draw the lines immediately. You don't need to dance about it. Oh, he's a friend now, he's a colleague. Fine. To be a friend and a colleague, but um there should be boundaries, like Temi said just now. There should be boundaries which you can play with the person. I didn't say don't play with your colleague or a business partner. You can laugh, you can gist, you can do all those things, you know. By the time handshake don't they reach elbow, don't they reach shoulder, that don't pass handshake. Or um as a as a married person now, maybe a lady now, it's not every opposite sex you begin to just hug them, either in the office or whatever. Highest you can shake them or whatever. Not start hugging everybody up and down, no, you know. But as a single person, if you used to do it, you find out that immediately you just cross that line, being married, you find out that so many things just change. The people you used to hug, you can't hug them anymore because you're no longer a free person the way you used to be.
But what
There
are
are
we
some
talking of
certain things
spouse?
that,
We're not just talking of
uh
marriage. It's still a
so that,
relationship.
yeah, and that's why sometimes I have to, it was the question he asked. You understand me? I said, but if you're on a single side, from a single side, maybe on a dating ground, neutral ground now, we are all dating. You understand me? At least if you are into something very serious, you know that this your relationship will lead to marriage or this person you want. There are some things you cannot just do. No matter even if she's single, there are some parties she can't go. There are some friends she can't. Man, you begin to if you don't start it, that is because it's leading to marriage. Oh. It's not when you are in marriage you not start correcting what you ought to have corrected during that courtship or during that time you're together. You know. Maybe she was the type that used to keep late nights, going to movies all this time, movies, your friends every time. By the time she now come to you, not be that, man, this was late night, I don't like it. She begins to tell her friends, my guy doesn't like me staying late. It is a person that used to stay till 12 before, now maybe 8 o'clock night, she's already back. She knows that a guy wouldn't like such a thing. And if she also loves the guy, she will begin to restrict herself. Then also the guy too. If your lady also like you moving with some kind of friends that will also always take you to some kind of place where you stay and be, like the drinking type, and she doesn't like you drinking anymore, smoking. If you really love the girl, you begin to cut down those things before you know you'll be cutting down some of those things. So it's vice versa. Except you don't like the person. If you this person, hello.
Yeah, Xavier, I can hear you.
Wait, sorry to interrupt, but Pastor Dan, if you go to the
Yeah.
comment section, if you go to the comment section on your StreamYard, you will see
Uh,
comments. You will see private chat. You will see comments. On the comments, you can connect your YouTube comments to the StreamYard. Just
uh,
click connection. Then any comments you post on this comment, it will reflect both here and YouTube at the same time. So let them know.
okay, I can see people their comment on YouTube.
Yeah, click your own and connect. You can comment. You can connect your comment direct. We'll see it on YouTube. You don't have to come. Nobody has to come to YouTube to comment. You can connect it from StreamYard.
Okay, okay. Does it take time? I don't click on the thing
No,
over.
under few seconds you are done. Right now, if
Uh,
I post a comment now on StreamYard, it will reflect both here and YouTube.
this allows the app to website.
I'm commenting from StreamYard.
Xavier, anybody there backstage?
The thing took me backstage. I think I'm on now.
Nobody is on backstage anymore. Everybody has been added.
V,
Where?
Did you see what I discovered?
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm commenting on StreamYard now. It's reflecting on
I
YouTube.
can comment on StreamYard too, but just that because I'm connecting on different devices, so
No,
I,
no, it's
I
okay. I'm
I
just
thought
saying, let them know. Let them know on WhatsApp.
I did it. He was
Okay.
telling me to go to that I can use to connect to YouTube. I thought it was to take me away from it.
Don't
Why my
worry, we'll get better. We'll get better at this. It's the first time, so
Nobody is on backstage anymore. Everybody has
where,
been added.
where is Michelle and that girl?
Yeah.
Why is my own taking time?
don't worry. We plaster here. We go nowhere.
Okay. So, so now we involve girls. I mean, sorry, people in a relationship, not yet married, but they're in a relationship. But Savito, Savi was saying that the somebody when say relationship they lead to marriage supposed to take and serious. But the person when be bestie, not really they sexually attracted to her like that. They just be childhood friends. They're nothing really special. They see themselves as family. That one go work. I mean, she supposed disconnect as per.
There are many cases like this. So there are very, very, very many cases like this. And the truth is that how many couples are best friends? That's what the question you're supposed to. That's the way you're supposed to start from. Are every couples out there best friends?
Hmm.
So I tried to do that comment. Now they say lock me up, come up on screen. Yeah, no.
Who lock you up? You are your local device.
I think maybe I use iPhone 17. I try comment. It has happened to me twice now. That's why say take me to YouTube. The
So
thing,
you
the
don't,
message
do you
just
understand the question I asked, Pastor Dan? If
Yes.
if every couple are not best friends out there, it means that those couple has a friend they confide in the opposite gender. There's no way, there's no two way to it. Like even if nobody's saying anything, even if nobody's addressing it, even if nobody's talking about it, if two couples are not best friends, you definitely have a best friend in a female somewhere. No matter
Yeah.
how. If you like, maybe to explain from now till night, you go explain tired, no evidence.
that example.
So the question now is that are every couples out there best friends?
No,
And if
no.
they're not best friends, it means that there's a space for a best friend to come in, or there's already an existing best friend, either from childhood, like you said, Pastor Dan, or from school, or from from anywhere. And when that best friend is not even beneficial in terms of even helping you with borrowing money, helping you with time of need, in tight corner, hospital, everything. See, bros, this thing is deep. No matter how you can explain it's not supposed to be so, but it's the reality. A lot of couples are not best friends. So there is a room for people to be a close friends, especially in family friends. This way does it. This we are family couple, family friends, or it can come in any way, in any form. You can come even as your minister in church, your pastor, your brother, your advisor, your counselor. Like there are many people that you confide in. This one, we're not just talking about okay, you have a best friend. I'm not don't have. There are people that you confide in that you tell something that you could not tell your spouse. It could even be from a genuine point of view. It's not. We're not talking about foul play here. But don't let him know. Like you confide this particular thing. Just keep it. Those are already like a best friend. You don't even need a tag. If you can trust somebody with a secret, it's already your best friend. You don't need to be say to the talk say these are my best friend. As small picking that's a childish talk. It is an act. It is not actually in the words or in the tag. It is how you live your life. It is how you share things with your spouse. It is how you do your day-to-day daily runs from every spheres of life.
But
So
Solo, the thing now is it that, for instance, and the woman will say the way I take bond with this person, it not be my husband, but I bond with this person because he understand me better than my husband. So
Another issue there be say husband, boyfriend, spouse, toaster, whatever. There will be a point where we be say they no go dey communicate to their spouse as much as they want.
yes, true. That time will always come.
Now there's a vacuum. Now that's where a friend comes in that you confide in and you cry to, that you're in pains and you need advice. Normally
Okay.
now you are supposed to talk to your husband about this issue, but some people feel like the heart is too heavy, the burden is too much because the neglect has caused damage that you sometimes the reason why it happened is from a psychological point of view. People tend to confide in the opposite gender so that they can be able to see if all genders are the same or if they will hear something different. And unfortunately, most of the friends will not advise you what is reality. They will only tell you what you want to hear.
True. So the thing now, Brasolo, the thing is subjective. It's not like a general something. There are cases where some people will want to take advantage of this thing, but there are cases where this thing is just genuine. They are just friends or childhood friends, or they just connect and they confide in each other. This friendship has been for years, and trust has not been broken, or nothing creepy has happened, and you can give a pass to this one, but still some people will have some reservations about it. And like you said, sometimes when there's a vacuum or there's an issue in the relationship of the person, those people, if they are not strong or they are not principled, they might just unconsciously they
Yeah,
might, they might unconsciously fall into the temptation of replacing the spouse.
most of the time, research has shown that people tend to fall in love with their friends. And it has happened before they were married or after they were married to somebody else. Let's say there was like a divorce, there was like a separation. Who do you fall back to? It's not your friend. So the thing is
Mm.
that how do you even define somebody that is just a friend or childhood friend that it will not ever lead to more than platonic relationship?
Yeah.
So that's where the mistrust come from. That means what is the solution? The solution is that if you have a friend that because of that you can say insist to say, "Hey, I've decided no turning back. I've left." It's not that one that just for talk. There's reality, there's real life, there's there's movie. One of the solution I feel is like
Look,
your best friend that is from an opposite gender should also be the friend of your spouse. That's what I feel. If it's not friend of your spouse, now then what are they?
That
If
thing go
it's
dey all do.
not,
that,
But more hear from one star girl. I better mute your mic first. Star girl. Star girl. Maybe she dey busy. But the thing is say if the guy come, the thing go dey awkward. He go dey awkward because even if especially as a man, let me say now go call dey close to the woman's
okay.
maybe spouse or
Let me tell you one. I've had somebody who is I don't want to mention names. I've had somebody who is a genuine friend. They were ex, you understand, but this ex is a good guy, a genuine guy. It doesn't bother anybody, you understand. But this particular ex started talking to him and she started remembering all the good things this guy did. This guy is a great guy. It's not like, oh, they did any foul play when they were dating, you understand? No, it's a sincere guy who loves God and everything. He had standard. And they connect again and they're just talking, talking about life. This one has been through life. This one about the other lady has been through life. You understand? They just normal connection, normal healthy connection. You understand? No foul play. No, just even if there's admiration, it's just out of respect, but nothing foul, nothing. And this lady said that, please, whenever you are in the country, whenever you are back in town, please let me know. I would like to cook for you. And the guy is like, but you have husband now. He said, yes, I will even inform my husband and let him know that we will be hosting you because you're a great guy. So How do you deal with that? You yourself as the husband, if you were the husband, how do you deal with issues like this? Because it could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing, as a man,
As it's so
as a
come back.
So how would you deal with it?
Stavi.
In the scenario they give us. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to say something.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, there are some certain things. Yeah, there are some certain things. Let's just, you call a spade a spade. You understand? If maybe the person now has now become a family friend, or it's not a family friend, possibly the man doesn't even know about. Maybe you've heard about the man some time ago. No matter, let bygone be bygone. According to some people, let bygone, let it be gone.
You want for
Things are
math where
already.
you dey talk. Oh.
I'm practically in it now. Not be, I know what's in the talk. You understand me? Then you not say, okay, your wife will not say, okay, she want to come and not cook for the guy you hosting my blah 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 story. Except there is a way that the relationship has come back again, that the person is now a family friend. But if it is not a family friend, you understand me? No matter the gist, even if maybe when you were dating, he used to give you 10 million, he used to fly you on a private jet. Or as soon as you are married, don't you know that once you cross that line, there are forbidden things. Traditionally, culturally, and so many things, social wise and so many wise. You understand me? But if you want to say, oh, no, 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 we're not living in a civilized world, and you use civilization to spoil your marriage or spoil your relationship. Culturally, there are so many things that are not. It is not even allowed. It is not. You understand me? It is not. Except, like I said, except the person now is now a good family friend, not just one-sided friend. Because if you also want to say, okay, fine, you dated a lady before, and somehow, the lady did one good thing for you, or you did one good thing for the lady, you were gisting, you now later now realize all the good things and everything. Then all of a sudden, you say you are inviting the lady to your house for your wife to cook for her because of the things, the good things she did for you while you were dating, oh, not inside marriage, oh, while you were dating. My brother, you'll be ready for third world war, the way Israel and Iran they are doing their game right now. Just be ready for such a thing. But if
But
maybe,
say women, for instance, and they say, more use the ones when never marry yet, when they did all this kind of relationship or they did date, and they get another person like a family friend, a man who is like a family friend, or a young guy who is a family friend, who say not be say a different zone, no, but it be like family friend or it be like a friend. He said
eh,
the benefit of having a male friend. She they talk now. Say the benefit of having that kind of a male family friend, and say when she get difficulty and she needs a man's presence, she fit call on that person maybe to help her move load, carry things, escort her to a place where fit dey dangerous. She don already get that person in her life before she come enter this relationship. And this relationship, when she dey now, when she dey date this guy no really get time like that to dey escort her, to dey give her that protection, or to dey give her that masculine support. So once he
yeah,
dey call this guy to assist her, e dey
okay.
bad.
No, it is not like that one. You understand me? It's not bad because you are not there, and the person is also playing a role of kind of securing her for you. It is not bad. I'm not saying anything really bad there. So long as there are no ulterior motives, it is not bad at all. You understand me? It's not bad. I can't condemn such because she needs somebody to help her carry something. You are not there. You are in another place, and the person is here that can help her. You as the guy, you will even be the one telling her, okay, go and call XYZ now to help you carry this something now. Go and call. You will even be suggesting so many other because you know that it's a masculine thing, or Go and call so person to escort you to the place. You will even the one suggesting to her.
Okay, this question now can go back to the opposite gender. Ladies, can you allow your 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 guy's best friend that is a female or a ex to come and cook for your guy when your guy is sick and you're not around in town or you're not around in his space?
Why the two the ex or just one bestie son? Oh,
Star girl. Okay, V even the star girl V. Anybody wanna talk? We need women's perspective.
V, come and talk. Are you not one of the hosts? Or you have been, where are you now?
Star V. Star girl. How Star girl go dey? You know the talk. You get one program that they watch. Most of these ladies go see they get male besties, say the male besties not get any interior motive. Then they'll come put her to test. They'll tell the ladies to call the male bestie.
Sorry, please, what was the question again? I was.
Na your way, na your way, na
What was the
your way,
question, please?
na your way.
We want to know they want to know the women's perspective about if they will allow their the their spouse who is a man to have a female bestie.
Why will you have a female bestie? I don't understand.
Okay,
He
why
can have
not?
friends,
Why
but
not?
why is he bestie zoning the person?
It's still
Why
friends and
can he not bestie zone me? Like, why can I not be his best friend?
is it bad to have two best friends?
There's nothing like two best friends. Best is always the best. That you can have other close friends, right? So yeah, if he wants to have close friends, he can have, but then he needs to know how to set boundaries. So I think that's where the problem comes in. If the person doesn't, if my spouse doesn't know how to set boundaries, know what to, know how to draw the line between him and his close friend. I will not even call the person a bestie because I will not even accept that name bestie. I will just accept the name close friend. So but if he doesn't know how to draw that line, then there's going to be an issue, obviously. So that's my take. I think this thing is actually very glaring. It's very clear. Nobody wants their partner to have a best friend aside them. Just like
But
I know he will
stop,
not
stop.
also
Why
want me
why
to have.
why do women defend? Why do women feel that they can have a male bestie? Most women, they are the ones that are actually in support of this whole thing. Most of the time, they are the ones defending that there is nothing wrong, since there is nothing sketchy or no interior motive. There are boundaries. No wrong. It's not wrong to have a male bestie. Why do women defend it?
Sometimes I feel like maybe they do not want to be really open to their partners, right? Maybe they don't. Sometimes it might be for good, like they might be doing it from a positive mind or from a free mind, not because they really want to cheat or they want to do something bad. Sometimes it might just be because number one, they want to have someone to confide in aside their partners. Number two, it could also be because they want to know, maybe most times when you're in a relationship there are so many issues that might be coming up and you might not really know how to handle it. You might not really know how to maybe approach your partner or deal with him when he's going through certain phases of you know his life. But then if you have a male bestie, you could just get to like get the opinion, like get the person's opinion on a certain issue, and then you know how to deal with your partner. That's
But is
what
it
some
because
people say.
yeah, there's a level of benefit that women get from having a male friend?
Also, yes, there's still another one called the financial benefits, right? There's still another one called, most times when a woman wants to really keep you around, like very close to her, sometimes it could even still be because you are benefiting from each other, like she's benefiting from you. And whether we like it or not, every single friendship we have around us, whether friendship, romantic relationships, or something, it's actually because these people are useful to us in one way or the other, right? Could be that this person is helpful to you, this person is nice to you, is kind to you, and all of that. So you cannot let go of that kindness. You can't let go of the goodness of that person. So you just end up keep, and you cannot still marry that person at the same time. So you just keep that person as a bestie. So some people, it's because they actually want to be getting money from these people, right? Whilst to some other persons, it might just be extra emotional supports that they might not be getting from their partners. But then there are still some people that still genuinely do it, but it's not right. I feel like if you probably had a bestie before your partner, the moment your partner comes in, your partner should be elevated and should be put in that,
Bestie.
bestie position. Then I'm not saying you should let go of your friend, your best friend, but I'm just saying that you need to set boundaries. That person will no longer be regarded as your bestie. Can still be regarded as your close friend, right? But then boundaries needs to be set. I think that's just what's important.
Brasso, please help us repeat the question. The one you said I didn't get.
So V, right now you will not allow your guy to have a bestie. Abi, that's what you're trying to say.
You can have a close friend, but you can't have a bestie. I'm his best friend now.
Okay, that close friend that cannot come for him when he's sick, and you are a woman. You the person need to come and take care of him while he is very ill, and cook pepper soup for him. Maybe use hot water to help him with towel to massage his body.
Why if she's going to be, I mean, if she's going to be that close, right, to him, she also has to be close to me too, right? So we can regard
Okay.
that person as a family friend.
Yeah, let's assume the person is also close to you. Would you allow such?
To come and start pressing his body, why?
Well, if you have to say this morning now, malaria fever, one treatment.
Why am I there? Can I not do it? But then if
You
she
are not
wants to
there.
cook, she can cook from her
You
house
okay,
and bring me and my husband, we will eat the
are
food.
not around. Let's assume you travel to Lagos, right? You travel to Lagos during that
Daniel,
one
share
week.
the year. Daniel, share the year and the learn as a so man.
During that one week,
May they calm down all your standards.
that your 1 week that you are in
There are some things you cannot
Lagos
battle
with
with
your
in life. You have to accept.
Okay, see, another thing is there's this thing they call trust, right? For
Rivera is the
me,
backstage. She wants to join. She says she's
okay,
in
let me see
backstage.
if I can add her. I'm just saying Faith Lawal, I've added her. So there's one thing for me I try to set for myself. I try to, whoever it is that I'm dating, I try to not worry about whether this person is going to be taken away or whether he's going to fall in love with somebody else, this or that, because
faithful on
I have trust in my partner, like complete trust from the
mm,
onset. Now, the only way I will now begin to like question lots of things is if he now gives me a benefit of doubt, in the sense that it now becomes glaring. I can now see it that there's actually something. That's when I'll now say, okay, I already have evidence and I'm acting based on that evidence. But if there's nothing like that, I cannot see any, question mark or anything. Why should I be sniffing around? Why are you collecting food from this, collecting food from that, or why are you close to this or that, right? But then when he now gives me evidence that, okay, yeah, I'm actually cheating on you, that's when I can now say, okay, I have evidence, that's why I don't trust you anymore. But from the onset, I'm going to trust my partner. I feel like that's how everyone is supposed to approach their partners. You're supposed to have a certain level of trust in them to do the right thing. Unless they now
So,
tell you, okay,
V,
I
V,
don't want to do the right thing.
which boundary do you think that one major boundary that one has to set if it all comes down to it that this particular one, nobody should cross this one? What boundary should it be?
Boundary. Maybe I would say physical contact.
Okay, okay.
I cannot
Yeah,
Like
hold
when
your
it
guy.
hug,
comes to,
hug
I
and
think go
all.
for
That the
we fit
no,
person
do
you
through
can hug. I'm not saying
we fit
like, you
hug through
understand
phone
what
call.
I
We don't
mean
have a
now.
physical contact.
okay can
Physical
hug
contact,
that
number one. Number two, intimacy. Like, there's a way that you'll be so close to someone when you're with the person. You know that this thing is not, this thing has passed there. You cannot even be close to your fellow guy like that. Or even me as a lady, I will not even be close to my fellow woman like that. There's a way you'll be doing. I will know that, okay, you're up to something, right? So that's physical intimacy. And then it doesn't even have to be physical. You can be far away, but you might be discussing all these intimate, having this kind of intimate discussions that we know that can lead to something else. The moment I see something like that, I think that's enough to, raise alarm.
The question I
That's
asked them was that would you allow an ex, a sweet ex, not just ordinary ex, not big bite by ex, or a best female bestie cook for your man when your man is sick and you're not around, you're not in the same town, you traveled or whatever cause or whatever reason, and your man is sick? Not will you allow his female bestie or if ex to do cook pepper soup for him?
pepper
Depends
soup.
on the knowledge I have of that bestie, right?
Knowledge.
Wait. Let me wait
I said it's one of
now.
the sweetest ones.
Okay, if it's the sweetest ones, I know that okay, the person still has a stronghold. Like I can, if I'm dating you, I should be able to tell if someone still has a stronghold on you or something like that.
And
So if I perceive that this person still has a stronghold on you and you're at the point of dying, I will look for somebody else to come and give you that food. Please let the girl find her way. Oh god. Unless maybe
wisdom,
there's
wisdom.
there's there's no other alternative, because regardless of whatever happens in life is still important, right? So even though the relationship pulls through or it doesn't pull through, your life is still the most important. So if I have to choose between saving you and then letting your bestie to save you and then trying to protect my relationship and then still letting you to die, I would still prefer to save you. Then if you still want to go, you can go. But then I'll know that at least you're fine, you're okay. Right. So that's just
Not
it.
the best. Hmm.
But there are some situations.
Lifesaver.
I don't know. I don't know if you people have noticed that there are some situations where a lady knows he can marry this guy, but he
If we,
doesn't want the guy to go.
one lady came online, she said the things that our mothers and grandmothers and great grandmothers, the things that they beard to keep their marriage going, that they did not say it to most generations because they know that most of generations will not be able to bear it. So they kind of like they scam many young ladies to let them know that the marriage was perfect, like we're good. But there were a lot of things that the woman had to allow to keep her marriage going that so
No,
many
but
young girls of today will not allow.
no, but solo. The thing is that this our generation. The dynamic is different. Like we now, because of social media, so many people have more options. They are spoiled with, like for instance, now all a lady needs to do to get the attention of the high and the mighty is just to post a tasty trap picture online, and the high and mighty is already in her DM. Now, this option, what it does to a woman is that, because women, the nature of a woman is they gravitate towards the best of the best male. So now they have a lot of option in their pool of selection. So the women in this our generation, for instance, now, we it's not as if they are not, we can't compare their circumstance to that of in those days. Now, the ones of this current generation, this option they have, it is a double-edged sword. It gives them an opportunity to meet the best people, but at the same time, it makes them impatient to build with the person they are now with. If, for instance, if a woman is in a relationship and there's a strain in the relationship and she's not comfortable, all she needs to do is to just post one picture online and somebody's already ready to fly her abroad. So the dynamic of relationship in our generation, especially for the female side, is quite different. Some mothers will say, if we had the option that our daughters have in this generation, yes, we might have, maybe we might have married somebody somebody else, or somebody better, financially more stable than the man they married. But the thing is just that the dynamic in relationship now in this our generation is quite different from, say that time, there is still this stronghold of tradition. And if it's not tradition, religion still have this strong hold on people's behavior and the way they handle issues. So marriage that time is something that is, you are betrothed, you are given to a man. You know, they come back house. If you come back
Mr.
house,
Daniel,
eh?
Mr. Daniel, please, I want to ask this question. How would you define a good marriage? Would you define it as how happy, peaceful, enjoyable it is, or how long it is? That's one question I want you to think about. You don't need to answer it yet. Just think about it. Would you define it as how happy, how good, how enjoyable it was for you, or how long it lasted? Now, one thing about our parents' generation is that they never really had options. So it's easy to compare this generation with our parents and say, oh, they lasted in marriage 35 years, 40 years, and all of that. But if you check back then, many of our parents never had the option to work. Many of them never had financial freedom. Many of them never had the things we have now. Now, the only way we can actually compare our current generation with our parents' generation is if we actually give them the resources that we have now. If it were to be available to them then, and yet they still had that staying ability, that's when we can now judge and say our parents did better than us. So to me, the true test of this generation is we have all we need. Just like, okay, as a woman, you have everything you need, right? You can choose to leave your husband and go out there and you'll be very fine, right? You'll be good. But if you choose to still stay with him, regardless of whatever challenges it is, that is the test of your true character.
Yes,
So I cannot say that our
yes,
parents were better. No, they were not better because they didn't have a choice. Some of them were even pushed into marriages, and some of them even suffered and stayed 35 years, not because they wanted to stay, but because they had nowhere to go. So we can only praise them if they actually had the resources that we have now. So I can judge a marriage by how well it is. So if I'm married to my husband and he treats me well, he's good to me, and then I try to do the same thing to him, and then after a while, if it's no longer working again and we choose to go our own separate way, we could only say that that marriage was good within that first, maybe it lasted for 5 years. We can say it was only good within that first 5 years, but after 5 years, it was no longer good. But then in a situation whereby you're married 35 years and throughout that 35 years, the two of you are miserable, you cannot, you're not happy, you're always sad, you are depressed. You can even see some people even dying in their marriages. Would you now say that that's the standard for marriage because it lasted 35 years, 50 years, 100 years, whatever, because they stayed? Well, in that thing you have damaged people, you can have damaged parents, damaged men too, that many of them are suffering from stroke and all of that. Why? Because they wanted to stay in their marriages, irrespective of the fact that they were suffering and they were probably dying in their marriages. Which would you prefer? A marriage that lasted just 5 years or 10 years, but it was sweet all through, and then after the 10 years, everybody went their own way, or a marriage that lasted 35 years or 50 years till maybe one partner died, but then within that 35 years you were broken, you were probably start having health challenges because of the challenges you had in your marriage. Which would you prefer? So how do we judge this?
well, for me, the thing is, Stavi, the enjoyment you get in marriage, it is subjective. Subjective in the sense that there are some certain things that we all agree that you can't bring two people together and the ride will just be smooth till death. There will always be bump on the road. There will always be issues. I'm talking about a perfect situation now. There will be issues. Now, the challenge most times is when you bring two complicated people together, they will, no matter where you place them, even if it's a simple situation, because they are two complex people, they will complicate the simple issue. But if you bring two simple people who just want to just get by, because for instance, now I've seen like some interviews on social media where they meet people who are married for the past 60 something years, 50 something years, and they ask them that why have you people be together in the midst of the rise of divorce in marriages, especially in America, because the interview was in America, with the rise of divorces in America and the incentives that they give to people who divorce, and how women make money out of it and all that, with all the things that happen around the world. How come you people have been together for the past 50 plus years? The Both of them just said simple things, very basic things. They say they easily forgive each other, they talk about whatever it is that is an issue and they fix it, which we would have expected every normal human being to be able to do in a relationship. But you see, the issue most times is the like I said, everything still bears down to the culture and the things that we are exposed to in this generation. Now, in the generations past, it's not as if their marriages was smooth. It's not as if they had a better life. It's not as if everything was, even then the men were marrying more than one wife, and when they marry another wife, they will maltreat the first one. In some cases they treated all the wives, the man tried to treat all the wives well, but in most cases it didn't work out well. But the reason why in that generation the women were able to stay and endure, some is majority of the time, is because of the children. That's one major factor. Children, just to make sure that the children will get all the support that the father will give them if the woman stays in the marriage. Because if she walks out, they will lose that support. So because of the children, she stays behind. Is it that the marriage is good? No. Is it that she is being treated well? No. But she stays behind. And in that time and in that generation, things like that were encouraged. But in this our generation, culture, there are some culture adjustment and shifts that we have experienced, that enduring such kind of marriage will not is not encouraged, or is not advised. The reason, like you mentioned, in those days women don't really walk the way women walk now. And as women are working now, economically they are leveling up with the man. So if the man is not coming forth in terms of taking care of the children, the woman can step in most times, in most cases, in majority of the time, or she can get a community support from family who can subsidize her life and the children's life, pay children's school fees and all that. So there is a cultural shift in our days. Now, in these two eras, it's not as if marriages were all palatable and the people that stayed for long in marriage, it was because the marriage was working. No. In the area that we refer to, the olden days in our mother's times or in our grandparents' time, it was because culturally they were encouraged to stay for the children, to stay for the future of the children, just because if they lived in home, the father will not take care of the children. So because of the children, most times the women are forced to stay. In our generation now, there's a cultural shift, an economic shift. Women can work, women can make money, women can take care of children. That's why we see the increase of single mothers and all that. And even in the developed countries, there is laws that if the man decide to walk away, the government can hold him accountable, take his resources, and make sure that he take care of his child. So there's child support and all that. So some of the factors that put strains in relationship or makes it not work, it's different. But the reason why our mother stayed in those days was because culturally it was encouraged. The reason, and economically then too, they depend on the man. In these our days now, economically the woman can stand on his own. Government too can corner the man and collect his resources to take care of the child. But when we want to now define what remarriage is, or what successful marriage is, it's just like I said, if you bring or you bring one simple person and one complicated person. The simple person, you just notice that anything that he handles or anything that he wants to do is simple. But the complicated person, because he's in that simple person's life, it complicates simple things, and both of them will begin to struggle. That struggle will put so much strain on both of them. They'll say, "Ah, they are not compatible." After a while, they will leave. But if you bring two simple people together who have common values, common goals, they just want to just live their life, live for their family, live for their children. They just want to do they just want to look out for themselves. Simple people. They'll just be sailing through life without any stress. Now, in that marriage, there will be issues, oh, there will be complicated issues, but because the complicated issues are handled by people who are not really complicated, are not too complex people. They just handle things and move on. But when you meet people who are when I mean complicated, I mean they blow issues out of proportion. They make issues. They allow things to get to them. Any small thing quarrel don't break out. Any small thing they don't pursue woman go father house, or they don't they threaten woman say no, I not do again. I not do again. And the reason for all those things, it might just be that the man may be cheating or is interested in somebody else, or he has other things going on in his life. But if it's in those days, women will be encouraged to stay behind for economic reasons and for children. But now women can stand on their own. So if a man is trying to abuse her or to make her life complicated, they will encourage her to say, like even in church, they'll say not divorce, but you can walk away for your own health and safety, and for the
Safety.
children, eh? For your children's health and safety. So the thing is there's nothing like a perfect marriage. I just believe that the what make marriages work, because all the people that have stayed in marriage for years. I looked at the Adeboye, for instance. It's not because he's a pastor, that's why his marriage lasts. Or Yuriko. Most pastors, their marriage don't break now. But if you
No
see these
crisis.
people,
You know crisis they've been through in their marriage. They won't use it to preach. Like they will not come and tell you.
yes, they face issues now.
Just
But Victor, Sir Victor, you want to say something?
like I said, like the point you just made just now, some of these are big men of God, they have their own issues. You understand? They will not come and tell you on it. The good side of it, they will come and preach on the pulpit. You understand me? They won't tell you the bad one, the bad side, the hits they go through within, So, and in such a thing, it is something that is either you tolerate or you endure or you back out. You understand me? Since the days of the old, it's been like that. Except it's only this Gen Z generation where you see that somebody can know and don't want to do things, they just back out. They are not even willing to take anything. They just, oh man, I can't take this, I can't take this, they go. You understand me? But in those days, like you've already wrapped, you understand? So many people would sacrifice, especially the mothers, sacrifice a lot for children's sake. Some died as a result of all those things, violence, domestic violence, and all those things. But if it is not as a result of domestic violence, some it may not be domestic violence, it could just be, the man being polygamous. You understand me? So, and the lady cannot take the humiliation and all those things. There is no domestic violence, with just polygamy issue, here and there, here and there. The other one will just say, well, let me leave you people here, So there's a whole lot of things that could,
Savi,
really.
let me ask you, Savi, as a married man,
Yes, sir.
from your experience and maybe from your own marriage, you can also see it in other marriages. What do you think will really make marriages last? What does the two parties need to do? Just very simple, basic thing. What do they need to do to make it last?
Well, I may not want to go too much outside the scriptures. You understand me? Which he said, a man should love his wife, and secondly, the other woman should submit. submission. So, and if you read other things that the Bible instructed there, when you treat your wife, if you love her, there are a whole lot of things you're going to do. That word love is not just, it's a compound word, very large, very deep. It encompasses a whole lot of things. To love somebody, you will care, you will do this, you will do that, you will bear, you will do so many things for sake of love. Then that of the woman respecting, I was also listening to one speaker, one man also talking about relationship and all that. He said, if you show respect to your husband, you truly respect him. There is nothing the man can also do for you. You understand me? No matter what, just give him his respect. Honor him as a lord over you or whatever. You see that love that is really not there. You find out that love automatically to just come. You know, so that not that you will not quarrel and fight. You will quarrel and fight. You understand me? All those small small hits will come, but two of you will sail double ends. You understand me? Two of you will still sail through because this person respects me, this one loves me. Then every other thing, external things that you will see, you know, they will all come to play. But because those two things are there that was instructed to us, you know, I think we'll skate through.
Oh,
Challenges will come, we'll skate through.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sister V,
Yes, sir.
I hope we didn't complicate your question.
It's not complicated. It's well understood. At the end
But
of the
Sister
day,
V, from your angle, what do you think that I know you are not married? What do you think that women need to do if they or let me start with this. What do you think that women really look for in a marriage that makes them happy, or something that is lacking that makes them sad or disinterested in the marriage and want to leave?
okay, for me, when I am looking out for a partner, the number one thing I look out for is kindness in that person, right? Because I've looked throughout my life from when I was young down to, as an adult now, and I've realized that the friendships that I've had that lasted so long were mostly friendships or relationships or whatever it is, were mostly with the people that were kind, right? So I would always look for someone that is kind to me, not just kind to me, but kind to everyone else around them, right? So if you look out for this quality, I believe whatever challenges that comes up in the future, whatever it is, if that person is a good person, the person will be able to relate with whatever it is that most times when issue starts coming up in marriages and all of that, it might be because of my maybe differences, but when there's like kindness, irrespective of your differences, you'll be able to still say, okay, I know that I feel like I'm right, this is what I am expecting from this marriage and all of that, but that kindness will still make you look out for your partner, to still make you show care and love and whatever it is. Most times when people are having issues in their marriages and things are not going the way they plan, you now see them acting out of anger, acting out of their own selfishness. Why? Because they lack that basic empathy. Or maybe you just had an argument, and because of that argument, you're now like, okay, I'm not going to cook for my partner anymore. Or maybe as a man, you now be like, I'm not going to give my wife money anymore because she argued with me, or because we quarreled, or she didn't do as I said. You understand? So I believe if there's empathy, if there's kindness, regardless of whatever it is, whatever differences, that marriage will still work out. That's from my own perspective, right? And also, I see, of course, we know the godly factor is still number one, right? That godly factor. But the thing about this thing is that most people, most marriages that suffer is not because they don't have that godly factor. It is about the fact that they have not yet started exhibiting fruits of the spirit. You get most times when I talk about kindness, I talk about the fruits of the spirit joined together and everything, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and all of that can be exhibited, right? But you can see lots of Christians that are not yet broken, and they are not
What do you
yet
mean by things that
exhibiting, they're not yet broken, they're not yet exhibiting all of these fruits. So because they are not yet broken, it doesn't mean that they are not Christians. They're actually Christians, but it's just that they've not yielded completely to the Holy Spirit. That's when you now see them acting based on the flesh and all of that. And then you can still see someone else can still ask me, what about those
hello?
unbelievers that are still enjoying their marriages? They don't have the fruit of the spirit and all of that. That's still where that kindness still comes into play, right? So for the unbelievers that don't know God, if you notice that both parties are kind, somehow they'll still be able to sort out their differences, regardless of their whatever it is, opinions or differences. So that's just what I feel, what I think, my opinion.
Okay, but you see that sometimes when a man is kind, he might not do it the way a woman wants it, and she will still read it as something. Is it possible that way? A man is kind towards her, but she's not saying it as kindness. Maybe she think the man is just pretending or something, or she's getting my own is there a way a man should, is it in a subtle way, in a soft way, or in a manly way, or just do it anyway?
Okay, I feel like most times there's this thing they call, I don't know, this book that was written by Tim LaHaye, the five love languages of people, and then why you act the way you do. You know, most times we might feel like we're showing love to people, but
Yeah,
they might not be receiving that love. Not
yeah.
because you are not giving them the love, it's because their own interpretation of love is in a different language entirely. So for me
Hmm.
personally, if I date you or I want to get married to you, the first thing I look out for is, what does this person value the most, right? What does this person interpret as love? I want to be able to show it to this person so that this person will feel fulfilled and satisfied. You get? So for to some women, they actually want their husband to, provide for them, buy things for them, give them whatever it is they want, not in an extravagant way per se. Do you understand? Like it might just be just little things like, okay, I buy you this, something that might not really be so expensive, but that alone is just enough to fill up their cup, right? Their, love cup, right? But then you as a man, you might be feeling like, oh, I want to help her to do stuff. I want to help her to, wash plates in the house, cook, serve her dinner, stuff like that. And she might not really be moved by that. I think that's where understanding comes into play. You get? So if you really love someone, you should take out time to understand that person. What are the things that I can do that will move this person? So if you feel like, okay, if I help you to do some certain things around the house, it's going to make you feel love. I'm going to try to invest more time in helping you out, doing the stuff you cannot do for yourself, right? And then if I feel like, okay, even though I help you to do stuff from now till tomorrow, you may still not be able to interpret that as love. You might just feel like that's something you're supposed to do. It's not even something special. But if I give you gifts, like little gifts, sometimes I surprise you and all of that, are those things that light lightens up your face, makes you happy, makes you excited, brings out that softness in you, then I should be investing more in that way of, I think at the end of the day, niceness is not what you define it, or goodness or kindness to your partner is not what you define it as. It is how your partner receives it that matters. So if I'm investing my whole time in that marriage or relationship in trying to understand my partner and understand what he interprets as love and kindness, if I'm investing all my time in doing that and giving it to him, and he's also doing that, trying to understand me, trying to know the things that he does for me that makes me very happy or brightens me up, if he invests in that, then we're balanced already. You get? So you just imagine he's just focusing on, oh, the only way I show love is to help her to do things in the house, and I don't really care about that. And he keeps doing that, and he's like, I'm helping you. Can't you see I'm helping you, guy? I'm not saying it. I don't even care. You help me, you not help me, doesn't make any difference. You understand? And then on his own part, the reason why he's helping me is probably because he wants me to help him too. That's his own definition of love. So I think the most important thing is I need to understand him, and know what he interprets as love. And then him too, he needs to understand me and know what I interpret as love. That way will be just like we're looking out for each other. That's the only way a marriage can really stand.
So is it that the man will ask the woman what is it that they have to have a one-on-one discussion or is by observation?
Okay. Some people are actually very emotionally intelligent. They can be able to tell. Like they can just get to have conversations with you once, twice, maybe even before dating, and they're able to tell that okay, this is what this person likes. But some people are not that emotionally smart. They want you to open your mouth and tell them before they'll be able to, get it. And even some people, even though you still tell them, they will still not be able to understand. So I think that's why we still need to like build or develop an open mind. If you're not open minded and you want to go into a relationship or marriage, it will not last because the person you are doing life with came from an entirely different family with an entirely different upbringing, lifestyle. The things that he was exposed to is entirely different from the things I was exposed to. His own parents, their way of life and the way they do things are entirely different from my own parents, and the way they approach us and stuff like that. But when I come with an open mind, I'm coming with the heart of okay, I want to understand you. I want to learn you. I want to, know how to be able to, handle you. I think that's the only way. So if in that kind of situation, I notice that you are not, how do I put it now? You are not someone that is very observant. But regardless, you are someone that if I talk to, you can, pick the message and then work on it. Then there's no problem. We can choose to talk it out. But in some situations, you don't need to talk it out. If you're with an emotionally intelligent person, you don't need to talk out some things. It just naturally flows. You just realize that some things are just flowing naturally. Your partner is just filling up your cup and you're also filling up the person's cup because two of you are sensitive. But in a situation where maybe one is sensitive, the other is not, then they would need to sit and have a conversation, then talk about their love languages. But if after that, maybe at that early stage of the relationship, after talking it out, you still don't feel like your partner is, filling up your cup, and stuff like that, I would not even advise you move on because you'll be frustrated. This
Yeah.
little thing that we see can lead to big frustration in marriage. Two people
Yes.
speaking different languages. Like I work in a Chinese company and I know how just a little misinterpretation can cause trouble. Like everywhere will just be shaking. We can be having fights here for like 1 hour. And you be wondering where's the fight coming from. You realize that the message is not being passed clearly. You get so two different languages staying in the same place without any effort of the other one trying to learn the other person's language or both trying to learn each other's languages. There's no way it can work out. So that's just my take.
It's a good one. It's an eye opener. The thing, one thing I really don't know is why is it that is it women? Because from the statistic, women are the ones that now I'm talking about separation. Women statistically, women are the ones that fight for divorce. My question is it that they no longer have that staying power, or they are no longer patient enough, or because in some cases, yes, there were abuses, there were so many wrongdoings from the man, but in some other cases, some will just say, I'm not happy, I'm not fully fulfilled, then they will say they want to leave. I don't know what do you think is the reason why most of them leave?
And sometimes I feel like it's just a character issue. Like, for example, if in the situation where they had to leave, if it is not in a situation of life and death, it's not in a situation of life and death, right? But yet they still choose to leave when things are rosy, or maybe they are leaving because they have another option. Then I can tell you that it is a character flaw, right? It is a character flaw, and
On
this
the
is the
woman
more
side,
reason
woman
on the
side.
woman's part. If a woman is leaving, not because her husband beats her or he cheats on her, but she just wakes up one day, maybe she started getting advances online from different people, and she's like, okay, I'm not doing it again, I think this person is better for me, I need to leave, and she just wakes up one day and leaves because maybe she has an option. Number one. Number two, it might not even be because she has another option outside. It might just be because she might just be tired, and maybe she feels like she can still fend for herself outside, and then she chooses to just leave because she has an option. Unlike our parents those days, that even whether you're tired, you're not tired, though, you cannot survive outside there, so you have to stay. You understand? In that situation, I can tell you that it's a character flaw. So this brings me to something that we discussed one time like that. Mr. Daniel, you're the one that made the statement. You said that most times men will want to go for humble, right? Humble ladies, ladies that okay, let me not use the word humble, but you said ladies that are kind of like below the men, right?
Yes,
I don't know,
yes.
you made a statement. Okay, thank God you're agreeing to it. Ladies that are kind of like below the men, especially financially, and then in some other aspects, right? When it
Yeah.
comes to, ratings and all of that. So I don't know. I was having this discussion with, I think it was Broso. I was having this discussion with. I was like, don't you think it is better for a woman to have all that she needs at this point, right? Like she's financially stable. She's at the peak of her career. Like all these women that are, in big positions politically and all of that. Then in that state, you now get to know her true character, then you get married to her, than for you to now say, okay, I want to prefer someone that is below there, then let me be with her because I know that she'll be more humble. Then what if something that happens tomorrow now, and she now touches money, or she now gets to a position where she's now on the same level with you,
Yeah,
then she
but
now wakes up, the humility now disappears, what will you now do?
the no, the thing is the same thing. Now, there are exceptions. If the woman that is let's say she's well to do, she's doing well for herself, and she financially she's doing better than the man. If she's in that level and she's humble and she knows her role in a relationship dynamic, she's not the head. Even if she's rich and powerful, she have to submit to this person who she's wealthier than, or she's richer than, or if you use that word. The challenge we have is that most times, if we take the majority of women who fall into this category, it is very difficult for them to submit to the leadership of the man. Some of them, before the man will just, before he knows, they say they've changed the children's school. She has taken them to a new school. The man is not aware. The next thing is that they've bought a new house. They are moving to a new house. The man is not aware. The next thing, they've changed driver, changed herself, changed this. No, the man is not aware of most of the things. She tells the man at the time she wants to tell the man. Most of the house decisions, she takes them. uh, this could be at the extreme. What I'm saying now is if I'm taking it to the extreme, but there is possibility that because of the um, there is no economic equilibrium, there's no balance in the home, in the relationship, and the woman seems to be the one with the economic power and prowess. She most times, except like I said, she's humble, submissive, she's unique, she's one out of a million, like the Proverb 31 woman, and she still respects her man, takes the man's decision. It is a man's decision that must stand. Her own decision is like a suggestion. If she takes that position, fine. But most times, women with power, women with wealth, women with money, they take decisions. Sometimes they talk to the man, but sometimes they don't even care. The next thing you have seen, they've changed driver. Why did you change driver? The next thing, they've changed herself. The next thing, they even don't buy new house. They say we'll go a new house. The next thing, they don't change children's school. The man needs to be on the know. He is the leader. If you demasculate the man by taking all the decision because you are the one with the money, you have changed the dynamics of the family. The man is no longer the head. Do you understand? This is not from the place of insecurity. I'm just saying this thing because there is a possibility that when a woman is in the place of that kind of influence, she sometimes she steps over the man. But like I said, there are exceptions. There are women who are humble. There are women who will not misbehave even when God has blessed them. I think Temi make mention of one, Abibra Savid make one mention of a woman like that in their church. And we can cite cases here and there of women who have money who did not behave like that. And like you said, what about somebody who does not have money? A woman who is not who does not have money, then later after she's married, she now became rich or something. It's still the same thing. The thing is, before she before she got that money, she's submissive. If she gets that money and she no longer wants to submit, it will affect the dynamic of the home, and it will in no time lead to a breakup. There's a story Brasolo posted on the platform one time where a man sent the wife and the children to America, and after a while the woman found out that he was fit in the US. She was not doing well. The man went to the US to join them. And when he joined them, he noticed that the woman was already very rich in the US already. And he is just coming from Nigeria. He was doing well as a military officer in Nigeria. But when he got to the US, he was not struggling. The woman had already passed him already economically. The woman is buying house, is buying this, is paying for it. Pay, that's how the woman started to maltreat the man. That's the case of the other one that got married to the man and later became rich. If the woman is not humble and is not submissive and is not rich, it will scatter the home. The reason is why I was saying that it is good to marry somebody who economically you are higher than them. The reason is so that you can maintain the leadership structure. And biblically, that's how God put it. God the head, the man, the woman, then the children. But when women hold money like this, if woman is good and he get power pass the man, the man is like the proverb does not take it too far. It's the man that his leadership rule in the family is no emasculated him. He's no longer the man. He's not. He will not function well. So that's the reason why I said it is good for. I don't know if you've ever met a man who his wife controls directly when he is angry or directly when he is directly or directly on his phone. Whether the man will want that part or just something else will happen. But it's not good for it's not good. It's always good when a woman is in leadership. It's not always better the man from the man. That's my take, Savi.
I get you. I understand. Oh, yes. He's not present anymore. Okay, I understand what Mr. Zino was trying to say because of the sake of structure. But then, the way it is now, times are changing, right? As much as, okay, we still want that structure for the man to be a leader and all of that. if we want to stick by that, then how do financially stable women, how are they going to ever find partners? Unless maybe they will have to now be looking for people that are way, way, higher than them. So to me, at the end of the day, uh, the most important thing is just to check the character of whoever it is that we are going to be with. That's just the most important thing. So as much as okay, I understand from that perspective that we have to find someone that as a man you have to lead and all of that. But if you find out that you're with a woman that is already high up there and all of that, then there are still other ways you can lead. You can still even lead in the finance, even regardless of the fact that you know, she's way more financially stable than you. That's my take, Sha. But I understand perfectly where everything Mr. Zeno has said. I don't know if anybody has any other thing to say. I think it's already time, Sha. It's already like 7:30 something. Sir
So V,
Victor, also.
yeah, Alpha, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Like as it is right now, maybe you are financially, buoyant more than
The
when you
topic
first
don't grow
married.
past me.
Would you oppress him, knowing
You said
fully
what?
well that I said, would you oppress the man in some certain areas, do younger for him, knowing fully well that, oh, I earn, for example, let me say the person is earning one quarter of what you earn. You understand? The guy is also earning good, though, but it's one quarter of what you earn. Would you, because of that, oppress him in a marriage, not even saying in a relationship now? How best would you be submissive to such a person? When he talks one, you talk three. When he talks four, you talk 10.
Why will I want to oppress someone that is how will I want to oppress my husband? I don't understand. Even though I have money, but money is not all there is to life. Money is just paper.
It's sweet to
So
talk about. It's sweet
money,
to.
if I have money, it is also for the good of the family, right? So
Because
we'll
I,
sit
It's
down
sweet
and plan.
to.
Even though he's still financially buoyant, like he's more
the car,
financially
the
way
car
up
is
there.
driving. The car is driving. You are the one that bought the car. Most of the time, you are the one assisting in all the heavy, heavy bills. You know,
Okay, I think let me be sincere with you. I think areas in which women have issues the most in situations like this is when they are now like financially buoyant and they're now like the ones doing majority of taking the whole burdens of the family financially, right? Maybe they go to work in the morning, they come back in the evening and stuff like that. Most times some of them are still not lucky with the kind of husbands that they get married to. Let's be realistic. The fact that you are poor doesn't make you a good person. Do you understand? The fact that you are poor doesn't mean that okay, my wife is rich, she's the minister of so and so affairs, she has more money than me. Doesn't mean that you are now the good person because you are poor. There are actually wicked poor people out there. There are some men that they know vividly well that this woman takes care of finances. I still admit to the fact that there are some women that will take charge of finances for like 1 month in the family, and before you know, they start complaining. They'll start insulting the man. I recognize that there are women like that, but still, there are still some really upright women that have sense. They know that they will still provide for their family because they are in that position to do that. But some of them are married to men that are not, sorry to say, wise, in the sense that you know that
because
as a
okay,
man that you're married to a
okay,
woman that
how
is actually very
would you
busy.
know that is it? How
That's
would
what
you
I'm
know
saying.
that type? You
Okay, how
wouldn't
will you,
know until you are inside.
that's
The
what I'm
taste of
saying
the
now.
food.
In that kind of
If
situation
you know,
now, the problem is coming from the man. You know that you are married to a woman that is busy all round. You people have like 3 to 4 children and all of that. And then she comes back from work and she's, trying to fix one or two things, trying to cook, trying to, bathe the children. And then, you've probably been at home since morning, from morning to evening, and you not even assist in one way or the other. The fact that when it comes to provision, it is a duty of the man, right? When it comes to, sharing of roles and all of that. Majority of the time, it's the duty of the man. But she's now picking up some of these responsibilities. It is also wise for you as a man to now say, okay, my wife is doing so much, even some of my responsibilities, she's taking it up on herself. Let me assist her. Let me assist her to do some of the things. Let me do some of the chores. Let me bathe the kids. Your own child that you gave birth to. Not be like, no, I'm a man. No, she still has to, bathe the whole four kids. She still has to, go and cook. On the days when she's like, oh, I'm so tired. Can you prepare something, And you're like, no, I'm the man. No, why will a man be cooking? You understand what I'm trying
And
to
so,
say? So in situations like that, that kind of
yeah,
man is not wise. Let's be
yeah,
realistic.
like that, you can get a house help. You understand? When the money is enough to get a house help, you can get a house help. To support, things like that. So I've seen, yes, now, for example, the ladies who are bank managers, you understand? You don't expect them to, bank managers, they are very, very, very busy. You understand me? They are very, very, very busy. They go early, they
So
come
far, you
back.
didn't house girl now.
Okay, so far they give you house girl, Abi. When they give you house girl,
So balance the
you are,
equation.
you are
I'm
a man.
coming. Yeah, I'm always coming.
Why you man? you
Now,
know. But on a good day, you still can't take that away. There's still going to be a house help. Somebody will also help you doing domestic work. You understand? In order to create that balance there. But the man will still do his own, play his own role. You understand me? He is also working, and you are also working. At least they'll need, oh, this time around now, since this one go to work, this one go to work, you now need to have to maybe a house help that you can pay. You see that both of you can pay the from the bills
Yeah,
together.
you can outsource some things, but you know that there are still some men out there that don't believe in outsourcing. Let's be
Exactly.
realistic. There are some of them that don't
Yeah.
believe in using washing machine to wash clothes. They will still say, Madam, as much as you are coming back from your work and all of that, I don't care whether you're the one providing or anything. You still have to go and wash those clothes with your hands. So
And
the
no,
fact
that
that we are
that
saying
man,
and we are okay,
not
we
taking it to
we think
laundry. You
well
understand me?
does not mean that other people out there they are thinking well. Some men out there are actually very mean and
On
wicked,
a good day,
just
the
like some
washing
women
machine.
too.
Go and use hand. If there is a washing machine, no need to go use hand. Except there are some fabrics that washing machine is not allowed to use. Fine, you can
that's
use
no
hand
problem.
and some fabric, but majorly 70% or thereabout or more, you can use washing machine if it is working clothes. You understand me? So that is that about that. See,
So
so
I
that's
think it
For me,
brings us to the end. But also, do you have anything to say before we
The,
end
top,
this life
the topic that might have forced into something else.
on Bestie?
I'm not getting.
sometimes there's no way you can stay on that very first one and not exhaust
I
it
know, I
because
know.
it will always shift again.
I'm looking forward to more streams on our YouTube. I'm looking more forward to this. It's a nice one. And we can even have live reaction to our album dropping next month. So there's a lot of things we can do.
That YouTube that you posted there before, you was it Zeno or Stargate that posted it? When I entered there, the thing took me to YouTube streaming whatever. I can't really see nothing there. You
Sorry,
understand me?
and that time she did not do it properly. That's why.
That's misleading now.
Technical error.
But you don't do the correct one now that I can go
Yeah,
there and see them.
it's streaming now on YouTube.
Okay, initially what happened was that I did not the fact that I already scheduled it for 5:30 does not mean that once it's 5:30 to automatically start streaming. I still needed to, touch some things before it to start streaming. So as at that time I was very busy, so I was not settled. So that's why it was not streaming even though everybody was on the studio. So it was when I realized it, I just had to start streaming before it started working.
But if I click on that link, then it will work, right?
It will work, it will work. And it's going to be there. If we have time, we can just still stream this thing. I think we have streamed for like
An
almost
hour.
even though not 2 hours. By my calculation, because I did some streaming for like 2 hours yesterday and I gathered 14 watch hour. Like I stream with different devices on my own personal YouTube, and I saw about 14 watch hours this morning. So with this calculation now, if I'm still using that same calculation to calculate for this, we had like an average of, let's say, 5 people. We had like up to eight, but some of them did not stay. So we had like an average of eight, 5 people or seven, I don't know. If we multiply it by 2 hours, that's like a reasonable watch hour that is going to start building. So then I think we also can continue silent streaming at night. Then we can grow it. I think it's
Uh,
still possible for us to get.
you are right, oh, madam. You are right.
I'm alive. How?
Do you realize you are on live TV?
Okay, yeah, I know.
They are going to watch this live after now because it's there on the YouTube.
Eh, okay. So that's
All
the
right.
end. That brings
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. So that if so that without
Yeah.
leaving.
So can we have a album? Can we have a album review like this on you stream?
Let
Yeah,
me.
that's when the album drops.
I don't understand.
Like a listening party now or listening discussion.
Okay, yes, we can. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Let's see how feasible it will be.
Yeah, next Sunday we have a very good topic. We already know the topic, so we should get ready.
All right. Mhm. Uh, my battery
Okay.
done the message. Queen, queen.
No light.
2 days now. Say try yesterday. The rain wait for Lagos. You see, if you see the rain, brother man, it is sink vehicles, it is sink cars. I put junction
Pastor
no road.
Dan.
I go no road for I go. Hmm. So until today now no light in the whole of Festa. 2 days. So that
Wow.
yesterday too. There's still no light.
Now be called Ray.
But brother, wait till you say make I talk now. If you ask me who I was,
Oh
no
God.
normally